Hey everyone, welcome to the channel for my first video on the brand new shooter just dropped by Riot Games, the developers of League of Legends, called Valorant. It's an interesting mix of Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six, and I was lucky enough to get a beta key drop from Twitch, so I wanted to give my thoughts after a few days of playing, and go over my plans to cover this game more in the future. If you've been anywhere near Twitch in the last week, I'm positive you've seen this game. It's taking the top spot by storm, and a lot of hype is built around it already. I can see why. It does feel very polished, the gunplay and hit registration works well, and the concept is somehow both familiar and novel at the same time. The game borrows heavily from Counter-Strike in terms of the overall concept, game flow, and actual gameplay. The graphic style, map design, gun selection, and moment-to-moment gameplay is eerily reminiscent of CS, to the point where most players are even using Counter-Strike callouts. This isn't a bad thing, and there's a reason Counter-Strike has been among the most popular competitive shooters for over 2 decades. The gameplay is fast and addictive, and there's an equal weight placed on good shooting and smart, calculated plays. This solid foundation is a great way to pique the interest of primarily FPS gamers, and then Riot has borrowed a lot of ideas from other competitive focused games and their own experience with League of Legends. This adds layers of complexity to the game that makes it more than just a Counter-Strike clone or an Overwatch clone. Has it been done perfectly? No, and I expect a lot of things to be tweaked going forward. However, what they have put together is a fun and engaging experience so far, and I'll likely be sticking around to learn more and cover the game on my channel. I figure it's best to start off with the good, so I'll begin with what I really enjoy about the game so far. And off the top, I think I've already made it clear that I enjoy the gunplay. It's not quite as complex as Counter-Strike or as simple as other shooters. It's a nice middle ground and just needs some tweaking to make the guns a little more distinct. Before I played the game myself, I wasn't sure how to feel about the hero shooter aspects of the game. I'll admit, I never played Overwatch because I didn't like how it seemed to focus more on abilities, and at first, I thought it would be the same here. Once I started playing though, it seems like most abilities are much more focused on tactical support, and they add an insane amount of utility, while generally not being offensive one-shot kill abilities outside of a few characters' ultimates. So far, I've been playing Sova, the recon archer, and Cypher, the hacker/spy who has cameras, trip mines, smokes, and a global detection ultimate. Both of these characters have very distinct kits and can be used in a variety of ways on attack and defense. While their abilities definitely influence how you play them, you can always fall back on the all aim, no brain strats because guns beat abilities 9 rounds out of 10. What it all combines to create is a really compelling loop of formulating tactical plans each round and using your team's combination of abilities to influence the game state and get the win. Speaking of teamwork, it's definitely core to the game, and that is just a huge positive all around to me. I absolutely get off on the thrill of making a plan together with the team and seeing it executed with precision, so it's been refreshing to have a new game like this to explore. As for the things I might say as negatives about the game, so far it's a pretty small list, and it's all more or less things that I'm sure will change over time. First up, I'll say that the weapons feel like they are in need of some tweaking to make them more distinct from each other, both visually and in terms of performance. There's a great selection of weapons, and they're very clearly based on the selection from Counter-Strike, but in terms of actual performance and time to kill, it feels like even cheap weapons like the basic pistol drops players very fast to the body or the head. The main assault rifles, the Vandal and Phantom, don't feel nearly as distinct as the M4 and AK in Counter-Strike, and the Spectre is like a better P90 for half the price. On top of this, the economy doesn't feel anywhere near as complex as CS, and I've rarely had to save or run eco rounds even after early losses. The matches are shorter, so the buy rounds do need to come up faster, but as it is, I feel everyone is fully geared most rounds, and you don't have to micromanage your money quite as much as Counter-Strike. That being said, it's a brand new game, so there's no doubt things like the economy and the weapons are likely going to change a lot as things move forward. The maps are fairly well designed in Valorant, and for the most part, I don't have big complaints about the maps so far. However, I'm not a huge fan of the way the map is divided up during the buy phase. Unlike Counter-Strike, you can leave the spawn in the buy phase and basically walk up to the halfway point on some maps before the round starts. I get why this is the case because some champs need time to prep their gadgets and get set up. But in my opinion, they should bring the dividing lines closer to the spawn so that fights aren't happening immediately every single round. Overall though, I'm really enjoying the game, and the more I learn and play, the more I see how much potential depth this game has. With Riot's track record supporting League for a decade, I think it's safe to say this one will also be around for a while and see a lot of additions in the future. For my part, I think I'm going to test the waters of making content for Valorant and start off with some character tip series and potentially map guides covering offense and defense. To everyone familiar with my channel, you all know Escape from Tarkov is my main squeeze and will likely remain the primary focus of this channel. However, I've been really looking forward to branching out a bit, and I'm going to be adding some Valorant content to my upload schedule. That about covers it for my initial thoughts on Valorant, and I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'll be streaming some Valorant and of course more Escape from Tarkov on Twitch, and it'd be great to have you drop by the stream, so I'll leave a link for that in the description. There's also links to my Twitter and Discord down below, which I use to send out notifications when I'm going live. Finally, there's a link to my Patreon page as well, and it'd be a huge help if you consider checking that out, as it lets me commit more time to the channel and keep the content flowing. Thanks for checking out the video. As always, feel free to leave any comments, corrections, or suggestions down below, and I'll catch you all on the next one.
Nice, there's no one long.
One. No more charges left.
One who gets up.
No more charges left.
In the side, dinked her. Right side.
Got her once.
Careful, Mandela, there's someone there. Just
Cage
around there.
triggered.
I smoke that. Got her.
Enemy down.
Couple dinked.
Yeah, Mika.
No fucking way I hate this shit. Come on.
Trick shots.
Nice shooting.
Smoking,
tech.
smoking.